So I bought a guild bank full of stuff for 1 million gold on one of my realms, well, a couple of months ago now. And I've talked about it a little bit on the Road to 100 million gold series, but I thought we'd take a look at it. What I've sold so far, what I paid, and some of the items I have. And of course, also what I needed to do to start posting these items at a reasonable price. So the backstory, for those of you who don't know, one of my readers contacted me, was quitting the game, and he wanted to see if I was interested in buying all of his stuff. Then he could hopefully turn it into tokens. So I ended up buying a guild bank full of stuff. We can see that there's still some battle pets left over here that I haven't brought out. Some of them are worthless, and some of them are valuable, like the Vengeful Porcupet that I should definitely keep in my inventory. So what I got was a bunch of battle pets, a bunch of transmog, and some toys and recipes and some other rare items, essentially. I paid 1 million, and based on what I saw before I bought it, I valued the battle pets at about 2 to 3 million, just the battle pets, and then I had no idea about any of the other stuff. I know there were items there that I've heard about, but I had no idea really what was going on with the other items, so I just paid 1 million and hoped that it would pay off, essentially. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Well, we should go back on the Brutosaur. If we look on the auction house, it's looking extremely good, right? As we can see here, the value of my auctions right now is 20 million gold. That's a big number. That's a big number. Now, I'm not sure I believe this number. Like, for instance, right now, these Nighthaven bridges are posted for 7 million. Just completely unrealistic, by the way. Completely unrealistic. But even if we take out the top 3 here, we're still looking at something like 9 million for the rest, which is, for the most part, in lower priced items it's reasonable. But this does definitely look like there is value in this set of items that I bought. This is something that can bring in a profit, but it's going to take a while because it's transmog and cosmetics, obviously, and some of the items are extremely rare. We can see here I bought in March, and if we look at this period, I have 428,000 gold in sales since then. So we're about halfway to making it back, and so we can also see here I've posted like collected sales. I've reposted maybe twice a week on average. So nothing special, just on the average, essentially. If we look at the sales over the last, well, we're going to look all time, and we can scroll back to where this started, which is about here. We can start to see uncommon items. If we scroll through here, you'll see that there's just absolutely tons of sales in the like 100 gold, 10 gold, whatever. These are items that are pretty much worthless, are very low value, so I'm just glad they're moving on, so I don't have to repost them. So very good to see all of these like low value items sell. And then we see some better ones every once in a while. We can see here there's a Frostbitten Greatsword, that's 17,000 gold. There's a Noble's Monocle, that's 15,000 gold. And there's some bigger ones up here. We have a lovely red dress, which brought in 52,000 gold. And then I sold a Sylvanas music box for 112,000. Shadeback bindings, 35,000. So yeah, we've sold. Most of the items I've sold are very low value, but most of the gold is from these bigger ones for sure. Even this music box being literally 25% of my sales since I bought this guild bank. So we're definitely getting sales, and I'm just reposting, and things are moving in the right direction, essentially. Now, one issue I had when I bought this was that there was just a ton of items here that I've literally no idea the value of. I don't do transmog. I definitely don't do rare transmog. And there's one issue in particular I wanted to avoid, which is exactly the one that I'm sort of in right now, because these Nighthaven bridges are not in the right group. We can see they're not in a group. They've been posting with the default setting because I've been too lazy to put them in the right group. So as we can see here, the region value for these pants is 500,000, but the value on my realm is now 7 million. Obviously, they're not worth 7 million. I mean, I don't even know if they're worth the 500,000. They might be a removed item, but I haven't looked it up, and I don't plan to. So if someone wants to correct me in the comments, you're free to do so. But the point here is that this is being posted at 7 million right now, and we can see that the TSM auctioning in the middle of the screen, the normal price, so next time I post it, it's being posted 500,000 more, 7.8, and then it's going to keep spiraling by drawing up the market value on this realm and then posting it at a higher value, and then etc, etc. Eventually it'll be posted for gold cap. So obviously we need to avoid that. And in general, I also didn't want to sell my items too expensively. I had a bunch of items, some that seem valuable, some that weren't. I mean, I'm happy if I sell this one for even half of the market value, or half of the region value, which is 1 million, then I'd have made back all my gold already. So obviously I don't need to get the max value out of any of these items. That's what I decided. So I needed to make a operation. So essentially what I did, I'm going to show you the operation and I'm going to talk to you. This is going to be a little bit useful for those who are still struggling with or wanting to make your own operations at least. So random buy. Minimum price, I wanted it to be fairly low. So we took half of the market value or half of the region market value. And then we use min here. When you take min and then you add the parenthesis and two price sources divided by a comma, it'll take the minimum. So what this means is that it'll take either half of the market value or half of the region market value, whichever is the lowest out of these two, that's going to be the minimum price. So I'm willing to post down to half of the market value. Then the normal price, this is very important, 95% of the same. It's going to compare the market value and the region market value. Pick the lowest and then we're multiplying that by 95%. Why 95? Well, that's due to the Nighthaven issue. If it's using market value, then, I mean, I don't want to drive market value up. I don't want to drive market value up, and there are items here where I might be one of just a couple of items across the region at any given time, particularly some of these items which seem fairly rare. There's also, I believe, some recipes that are very rare here. So I don't want to drive the price up, which is why we're posting just below. You could use 99, you could use just region market value, you could just use 100%. But I'm erring on the side of driving the price down and hopefully enticing some sales, because I just want to sell off enough stuff to make back my gold as soon as possible, essentially. And then the maximum price is just 2 times the same thing. So that's what I went with, and we're just slapping everything on the auction house using that, or the items I've forgotten to add to the group are using the default setting. Now obviously doing this as a repeatable gold making method is not particularly practical. I'm sure most of you would love to buy a gold bank full of assorted some amount of value items for 1 million gold. But you can't really force that to happen. But what you can do is you can pay attention to trade. I feel like every once in a while I'll see someone who's quitting the game and wants to sell their stuff. Also, if anyone you know in your guild or whatever is quitting and you're a gold maker, just ask them like, hey man, do you think you're coming back? If not, I'll buy some battle pets off you or transmog off of you. And hopefully it's enough for you to get a token, and I'm sure they'd be interested. Anyway, I just wanted to show off what I got in this skill bank, why I made the decision, and what I had to do with TSM to get it out on the auction house effectively. So I'll probably check back again once I've made back my 1 million gold and see where we're at then. But until next week, thanks for watching, guys.